So again, as I say, I think just about every time, if you come in late, there are always seats down in the front. So come down in the front, except right in the very middle of the front row. Hey, so a couple things before we get going here. By the way, if you weren't here the other day, I'm Sam Richards, and this is this marks the, oh man, I don't know how to say it. I've been teaching for 39 and a half years. 39 and a half, dude. That's crazy, right? And I started teaching by accident. The first class I ever taught was there was an emergency at a community, a two-year college in Toledo, and University of Toledo, and I was, so they called over the social department in the main campus. I was a master's student. I was 24 years old, and so they said, "Do you have a grad student who could come over and teach?" And I said, "Yeah." And they asked me, and I said, "Yeah, I'll go talk to them." So I went over and talked to the person who was hiring, thinking that this is only one story about me, and then we're going to have a class. Thinking that it was going to be a class related to sociology or something that I knew something about. Anyway, I said, "What's the class about?" He said, "Well, it's cybernetics and human ecology." And in my mind, I'm thinking, I had taken a human ecology class, so I had some sense of what that was. I think I got a B in it, so it's not like I got an A. But I didn't know what cybernetics was. So I said, "Well, can I think about it?" And the guy said, "Yeah, no problem. You got like 10 minutes because the class is meeting down the hall." And I said, "All right, whatever, I'll teach it." So I went down the hall, and I walked in the classroom, and I asked, the first thing I said to the class was, "Hey, does anybody know what cybernetics is?" And nobody did. And I said, "Okay, well, this is going to be a lot of fun because I don't know what it is either. And I'm supposed to be teaching. So I guess we're going to have to figure it out as we go along." And that was my introduction to teaching, meaning that I walked into the classroom and revealed I was 24 years old. I was probably slightly more of an idiot than I am today. But today I know maybe just a little bit more than I knew back then. I would say that. But in any case, the idea being that one of the things that teachers have a difficult time doing oftentimes is revealing that they don't know anything, or that there's a lot that they don't know, or however you want to say it. But the very first thing I ever said to a classroom in the very first class I ever taught was, "I don't know anything about the subject matter." So for me, it really kind of revealed, it's like I walked in naked. And in a way, what that taught me was that it's kind of cool to start out with the idea that you really don't know anything. And or not that you don't know anything, but the world is so incredibly complicated that it's not possible to ever imagine that oneself really knows a lot, because it's like we might know a lot, but there's a billion times more than to know from whatever you know. Or I don't know how to say that, but you know what I mean? It's kind of like the universe, or like death. Like we're all going to die, and we think like, "Oh, we're going to die, and we're going to leave our bodies, and we'll be dead forever." It's like, no, hang on. Like, yeah, we can't take anything with us, and oh yeah, we're going to die. No, hang on a second. No, you're going to die. You're going to leave our bodies. Nothing is going with us. Every single one of us is going to be dead. And everything that we value, I will no longer be in this classroom. I will no longer teach. My watch, everything, man, nothing. It's all going. But you can't contemplate that. It's really difficult to hold that, kind of like the size of the universe. So in any case, I think that has, the reason I start with that, well, first off, I have no idea why I started with that story, but I did, so let me pivot and then make something out of it. And what I'll make out of it is that's largely, so we're going to start there today. We have 4 volunteers today who are going to tell us what they know about a topic, and then we're going to see where we go. But before I get to that, I just want to say the following. Can you just put, there are 2 things that are happening, right? One, in May, my wife and I, along with a colleague, Ben Park from Brandywine, we're doing a 2-week study abroad course in Korea, and it's really cool. It's a really, really cool experience. So if you're looking for a summer study abroad course, talk to me after class. Next one, there's also a class on American Indian culture and thinking that's happening now. But the cool thing about this is it doesn't start until 2 Mondays from now on the 22nd. So that means if you have some class that you're taking and you realize that it really kind of sucks and you don't want to take it, this one will be available to you. And there's a trip to the White Lake and Red Lake Reservation in Minnesota that you can go to in May. And the final thing is, next one, there is this class on Korea that is being taught at 400 level. I said that I would announce it. So if you're interested, see me on any of those classes. See me after class. All right? All right, man. So wait, you can just blacken the screen first. All right? While I say something. Okay. So wait, if you are, you can't stand on the walls next to the lights because there's light switches around the room, and then what happens is, you hit them with your backpack, and we go dark, and, that kind of thing. All right. So here's the thing. I'm gonna speak both to you and to the stream right now, to people who are watching on the stream. So for you all, the class, we spend a lot of time working with student volunteers. By the way, if you come in late, there's always seats in the front. So you just got to come down to the front, okay? We spend a lot of time working with student volunteers. And the class only works because students, you all who are here in the room, are willing to volunteer to come up here and talk about things, okay? And it's awesome for me because, A, I don't have to listen to myself, and I'm tired of listening to myself. It's for you because you don't have to listen to me either, and that's awesome for you, that we really get to share in the experience of developing an understanding about particular topics that are out in the world, okay? So the most important thing, this is for the stream. If you can put me in green, team. Look, these are students. And people in this room are between the ages of mostly 18 and 22, maybe 23. There might be a few people older than that, but they're students. They're not experts. Nobody is expected to be an expert. We all have this thing that happens to us. Maybe some of you have this with your parents, but as we get older and we look backwards, we have this idea or this fantasy that we were smarter than young people are today. And we're not. I was not. Well, it's pretty easy with me because I am very clear about the fact that I wasn't very smart. And if I would have been asked, if I was in a class like this and I would have been asked to volunteer and come down to the front and take a microphone and start talking about some topic, I know I wouldn't have had anything to say. It wouldn't have mattered what the topic was. I wouldn't have had anything to say. I'm blown away, actually, by how smart you all are when, however, hang on, I want to go back. That's about a topic. So if I would have said, hey, tell me all you know about X, Y, or Z, I wouldn't have had anything to say. But if someone would have asked me, hey, Sam, like with cybernetics and human ecology, we know you don't know about cybernetics and human ecology. Well, what do you think? What do you think it is? And I would say, well, I don't really know. Well, what do you think? And then I would say, well, I think cybernetics, it sounds like da-da-da, and human ecology is this. And then they would have asked some follow-up questions like, okay, that's a good start. So now let's go back to cybernetics. How about, And then they would have just kept asking me questions. Eventually, I would have revealed that I actually know I actually have something to say within the context of what I see in the world, where I'm standing in the world. And I can only see the world from where I'm standing. So if I've never left the state of Pennsylvania, what that means is, whoa, I have a lot to say from the perspective of somebody who has never left the state of Pennsylvania. And that's pretty cool, because there are other people in the class, for example, let's say, who have lived all over the world. And, for them, it's so fascinating to hear from someone who's never left the state of Pennsylvania. Yo, right here in the second row, man. Yeah, you got a lot of seats. There's seats all over. Okay, so you understand. It's so fascinating to hear from lots of different people from many different perspectives. And so all we can do is speak from our own perspective. And from our own perspective, we actually know a lot. Okay? So, all right. Usually, here's another thing I want to say to the stream. When we ask, to you all, when we ask people to volunteer, you never have any idea what you're going to talk about. So when you get a text from Leah, who you'll meet next Tuesday, I think, and she says, hey, can you volunteer today? And you ask, hey, what's the subject matter? She's going to say, I can't tell you. I'm not telling you. Because it doesn't matter what the topic is. And I'm not going to choose a topic that you know something about. So if you say, for example, oh yeah, I've studied immigration a lot in my life. I'm like, well, I'm not going to ask you, probably not going to ask you to talk about immigration, let's say. It's going to be something else, right? Okay, is that cool? In today's class, regardless of what people say, I'm going to push back on it, because that's my job. And pushing back means that I'm going to ask follow-up questions. And I'm going to say, well, hang on, man, but what, if you say that, what do you think about this other thing over here? And my job is to sort of encourage people to see lots of different perspectives on things. So that doesn't mean I disagree with them. At the same time, when I don't challenge people, when I don't ask follow-up questions, it doesn't mean I agree with them. So you will never know what I think about a subject matter. What people say when they get to the end of the semester, generally speaking, is they still have no idea what I think about something, okay? So it turns out that people today are all U.S. citizens, but 20% of the 20% of you in the class are international students from outside the United States, and probably another 20% are people who have ancestry directly from outside of the United States. So you might be like, Mexican American or Polish American, and you spent, your first 12 years in Poland, and now here you are in the United States and that kind of thing. Okay? Is that cool? So let's see. Gabriella, I want to start with you. Let's go. Come on. Gabby. You can, always when you volunteer, here, have a seat. Do you want to sit up here? It's always less awkward when you sit. Go ahead, have a seat. That's on. You can mostly just leave it on. All right. Hey, so I kind of did, but you can introduce yourself to the class. Yeah, hold it really close. Yeah, the easiest way to do that, by the way, is if those of you who are volunteering, if you do something like that, and then you're always touching your chin, you're always going to be really close. Go ahead. A sophomore? Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Snyder County, PA.
Yeah. Which county?
Snyder County.
Snyder? Is that up north?
No, it's eastern.
Eastern?
Yeah,
All
east
right.
from here.
All right. Okay, so can we go to all right, so this is the class. Right here, class, this is the class. This is the question we're going to answer. And Gabby, should I say Gabriela or
No,
Gabby?
just Gabby.
Gabby is good? Okay. So Gabby, here's what I want you to do. Mostly, so you're Mexican American,
Yes.
speak Spanish,
Yes.
and when did you come to the U.S. or were you born in the U.S.?
I was born in the U.S.
Have you spent time in Mexico? Or,
Yes.
like what? How much? Like what?
I spent some summers with family. When I was younger, I spent like 3 months in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. What part?
Guadalajara.
Guadalajara? Ah. Okay, so here's the deal. What's the problem? Think about the world today, all right? Now listen, remember what I said about you being like, because I just want to know, this is purely selfish in a way for me, right? We've selected 4 people today, and I'm just really curious about what you all think is the problem. Because your generation, I don't know what generation are you, by the way?
Gen Z.
Gen Z? All right, Gen Z. I don't even know anymore. I can't keep track. It's like people are always, people talk. I watch social media or I read. I'm obviously this is what I do, right?
Yeah.
So people are talking about problems, right? Just from what you see, what's the problem?
I've seen a lot about global warming problems and racism still.
Yeah, what do you see? By the way, I think when I walk, so what you're just speaking to them,
Okay.
to the class, and we'll be engaging, but I think when I walk, so okay, so first thing you said is global warming and racism. What do you see?
In my own experience in a small town, I've dealt with a lot of racial slurs thrown at me. And then on social media, I've seen a lot of global warming issues and posts of how we can make the world better and slow down global warming.
Mm-hmm. So let's take the racism piece. So slurs from people who, like random people, or, oh, by the way, we always take still photos, so we'll have still photos for you.
Okay.
All right? So what do you, so say more about that.
Random people in grocery stores, on the road, co-workers, customers, and students.
People calling you racial, can you say what they call you? I mean, you don't have to, but like. You don't have to.
Nah.
All right. So, really? So people who don't know you are saying things to you?
Yes.
Do they have a reason to? Has there ever been a situation when they have a reason to? Like, first off, let me just say, like, okay, this isn't because I'm a white guy, okay? Because I teach this class, so obviously, right? But like, you do understand it's hard when someone doesn't have an up-close personal view of what you're saying. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to say, like, really? Like, seriously? So just can you say a little more? Like, what? People just come up and they just say stuff? Or they yell stuff at you? Or
they mostly just yell and stare and give you weird glares. Mm-hmm. It's very uncomfortable being a person of color and being different.
In Snyder County? You live in a small town?
Yes. I live in Selinsgrove, PA.
Oh, dude, Selinsgrove. Okay. All right. Okay. And so it's mostly, is there a growing Mexican community there? Or community of immigrants?
It has been declining.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it grew, like Hazleton and certain ones, and then it started to decline.
Yeah. When I was younger, there was a lot more families. Currently, I think there's 7-8 families that are of Hispanic heritage.
So the racism for you is something that's really there in your direct life experience.
Yeah.
You would call this racism, like when people are saying slurs and so on to you.
Yes.
How do you respond?
I get uncomfortable, but just ignore it. It's better to just keep going instead of trying to argue with them because they're so close-minded.
Mm-hmm. So keep going, but you keep going with that inside of you, right? Because it's in you.
Yeah.
Okay, so where else do you see, so racism is an issue.
Yes.
And so there are many, like we have this idea that people in your generation are much more comfortable with many people who are not like them. By the way, we're not talking just white people here, right?
Yeah.
We might be in your case, but it's not like black and brown people aren't racist
Oh, yeah.
or bigoted, whatever. We'll go into that later, however you want to say it. So there are people who are not white who also display racism that you see?
Yeah, funny enough, one time I was called a Mexican racial slur by a Puerto Rican.
Really?
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans, what's up with that? Yeah. Yeah, Puerto Ricans just feel some kind of way because, it's like the 51st territory or something. All right.
Maybe.
Dude, by saying what I just said, all the Puerto Ricans are going to be like, yo, what are you talking about? All right. So where else do you see racism? So this is one of your two pieces here. Where else do you see racism?
I've seen it a lot it's no longer that much on social media, but every so often it'll show up. And you would think that since nowadays we're supposed to be more progressive, you wouldn't see as much, but it still happens on social media.
Okay. So climate change.
Yes.
That's the second thing that you said. So what's the problem? The problem is climate change. What do you see?
The ozone weakening. We're running out of materials and resources. The population is growing faster than the world can handle.
Then the planet can handle with the resources.
And animals are going extinct a lot faster. That's pretty much what I've seen.
And how is that for you? Like someone of you, how old are you 19?
Yes.
So you're 19. So how much time do you spend thinking about global climate change?
Probably like at least 5 hours a week.
Yeah? So like constantly, every day?
Yeah.
You're thinking about it. I think about it all the time. I wouldn't tabulate it at 5 hours. I might. I'll bet if I could put a number to it, I'd say about 5 hours a week. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot, man. Dude, what would you say, bro? How often do you think about climate change? Put a number to it. An hour a day? It's in your mind in the day. Yeah. Yeah, that's intense, man. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yo. See, oftentimes what happened, do you know what just happened right there?
Yeah.
What happened?
People were like, I don't know, questioning if that's true, if it's like something that people actually think of.
Yeah, I think what you do, I think you hit a nerve.
Yeah.
And the nerve is like trying to quantify something like thinking about climate change. So I see this happen all the time. It just sort of ripples through a room like, whoa, hang on a second. And now everyone's like, they have to comment on it because it's big. Like, I think about it at least probably 10 hours a week. I think about it every single day, man. Okay, so climate change. And when you think about your future, what are you thinking?
That we're screwed.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Like we're meaning like all of us, but you in particular? Because I'm old and I'm going to die.
No, everyone. We're all screwed in this world.
Yeah.
In the planet.
Wait, how is that to walk through life at your age? You're 19 years old thinking we're screwed.
We've grown up in the economic crisis and COVID. There's nothing that's gone right for us. So I'm just ready for doom to happen.
Damn. All right. Dude. All right, hang on. So my job is to give you some hope right here, okay, Gabby? It's like, first off, yeah. Dude, are you all, do you feel that, bro? Do you feel it, bro? Do you feel like you're kind of screwed? Really? Bro, do you have that? You're just chilling? Yeah. Do you feel that? Yeah? Wow, man, okay. All right, listen. So climate change, it's like we're in a really bad situation. How much hope do you have, though, that, hey, we'll work ourselves out of this? Do you have, how much hope?
I'll give it 20% hope.
Oh, yeah? All right, that's cool. 20 is better than 0.
Yeah.
I actually have a fair amount of hope, by the way. It's not because I'm old and I'm going to be out of here much sooner than you are in all likelihood, but it's more that it's a challenge. And, you know, human beings, we're surprisingly capable of living up to certain challenges. So, okay, so those are 2 things. All right, man, that's it. You're golden. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. It's awesome. Dude, you want to come up? Have a seat. Hey, by the way, you never have to sit on the table, but if you want to sit on the table, it's always a little more comfortable.
It's a comfy table.
It's a good table. All right. So listen, first off, does anybody have any gum that I could have? I'm like dying. I'm in need of some gum. You got some? Ah, oh, dude, you're the best. All right. So, bro, so introduce yourself.
All right.
All right, here we go.
So my name is Bo. I'm in my 2nd semester of my senior year. I am a major in criminology and IST. And if I had to say what I am, I'm just like European American, I guess.
Uh-huh. Would you know where your ancestry is from?
Yeah, it's mainly from the whole entire area around the UK. I'm Welsh, English, Irish, Scottish,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Okay, I got you, man. All right. Where are you from in the U.S.?
I'm from Scranton.
Scranton? Oh, dude, Scranton. All right. Okay, so listen. So what's the problem, bro?
I think what we need to do is respect other people's opinions more.
Okay, so big problem for you is us not listening or respecting to other people's opinions.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, I see it a lot online. Someone can have an opinion that they're entitled to, but, you know, it's not political or anything like that. No matter what, someone's going to be silenced for what they're saying, or they're going to be ridiculed, even though they're being perfectly rational.
Even though they're just saying what they think or what they
Exactly,
think.
yeah, their honest opinion.
So do you see this in your own life, like on social media and
All
stuff?
the time, yeah, every day.
Yeah, in your life?
Yeah.
Being silenced?
Yes.
Like, so what kinds of opinions?
Political opinions, to say the very least.
Oh, wait. You, in your thing, you identified as leaning conservative.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning conservative, like central right.
But, dude, like central right for some people would be like you're a far right neo-fascist. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, for people on the far left, neo-Marxist, even just leaning a little bit to the right is like, oh my God.
Yeah, I can see it.
Bro. That's funny. So how do you experience it? Like, what do you, because this is a big issue, right? So strangely, you know, here's your generation who's grown up with social media and all of these opportunities, you know, with these phones to just put our voices out there and to listen to other people's voices and so on and so forth, and yet to like be slamming each other down. So what can you just say? What else? What do you say more about what you're seeing?
So it depends on the internet where you go, whether it's YouTube or the site called Reddit.
Reddit's far left, isn't
exactly,
it?
Yeah. I'm on there all the time.
I don't know how that is. Reddit's the front page of the internet.
I have no idea. I swear it just becomes a thing. People just flock to one platform.
Okay. All right.
And I use Reddit a lot, so I'm using different platforms. I'm not just talking about one group here, but For example, someone will say something like, you know what a subreddit is?
Yep.
A thread. There's no rule really pertaining to what kind of opinion you should have, but moderators, because they have a certain opinion, they will silence someone just because their political opinion, they disagree with them.
Yeah. Can you give me an example of a political opinion that you've shared or have that, like, for example, I'll give you one, right?
Okay.
So because I'm not gonna, I'll give you one. With the immigration, all of the immigrants on the southern border, we really need to do something about that. Like we got to handle that. That this is a problem.
Right.
That would be. How about that?
Okay.
Wait, is that not really very radical?
I can find something to talk about with that. So
all right, go ahead. Yeah.
Take for example someone who's far left. They wouldn't really see as much of an issue with that as someone that's more right. Because people who are more right, from my experience, what I see is they want everyone to be a citizen. And I've had friends who are more left. They say that immigration, the illegal immigration, is good for jobs. But I'm going to say my personal opinion, if that's okay.
Yeah, you can throw it out.
Okay, I'm just
Well,
saying.
it's from what you see. But your personal opinion, here's the thing though,
Yeah.
right? And I want to be really clear about this. Whatever your personal opinion is, if I push you a little bit, you'll shift that opinion in some other direction. Because, wait, how old are you, 21?
23.
23, so you're young.
I mean, 22, sorry.
22, all right. So you're going to push your opinion is just it's very short term, okay? But go ahead, throw an idea out. Doesn't have to be your
Okay.
opinion. Just throw an idea out. The people on the.
Okay, I'm not
More
going to share my
conservative.
opinion then.
By the way, you should know that those of you in the classroom, 25% of this classroom identifies as conservative. Okay, I know this because it's the same every semester. 25% of the classroom identifies as kind of really liberal, and 50% of the classroom is right in the middle. And at any moment, the conservatives will take liberal positions, and the liberals will take conservative positions, and it just will all get mixed up. And that's just how things roll. But conservatives will tend to be silent on a college campus because they will tend to be afraid of concerned about getting canceled or silenced or something. But that doesn't happen in here because you gotta have key ideas. But throw the idea out.
So I hear people with their argument, why not just get a citizenship? Like, why be illegal when it's just something I don't see, like the purpose of like just coming here illegally, like unless you have to, escape a financial crisis or any other of that sort. If you are capable, why not just get citizenship?
Okay.
And you'll be eligible for more jobs, more benefits, etc.
Okay. And if you're not capable, if the U.S. government says, like, hey, that's cool, but we're not taking any more applications, so, like, whatever.
Oh, well, at that point, I guess, come on in, I don't know.
No. No, hold it. Take a conservative position here. I want to just throw this out there. Take a conservative position. I'll take it if you don't want to. It's pretty easy, but
Okay.
take a conservative position.
So
It's like, so Gabby's family, let's say, did your family come here legally or illegally? Oh, they came here legally? All right. Well, that's all right. Gabby's family, let's imagine they came here without documents. And they just was like, we got to survive, so we're just going to come here.
okay.
So what would a conservative say to that?
Like if she came here illegally?
Yeah.
They would most likely, it depends on how far conservative you are too, but if you're very conservative, obviously you would disagree with that. They would
Okay.
say, why does she just have it easy? For example, that's what
Yeah.
they would say.
Yeah, like why do you get to do that? And
Yeah.
other people didn't get to do that.
Right.
Which is a fair comment. I mean, there's a fairness thing. Conservatives are really into fairness, you know. People, liberals, you think you're really into fairness? Conservatives are driven by the idea of fairness, right? There are going to be rules. We're going to set up rules, and the rules, if the rules aren't fair, then you got to go out and you got to change the rules. But there are going to be a certain number of rules, like in the case of immigration. You got to follow the rules. There are a lot of people that want to come to the United States. So it's like, look, follow the rules. And if you don't follow the rules, then we're going to have a problem. We're going to send you back home or whatever. So it's not fair for you to sneak into the country when somebody else has been waiting patiently for a response from the U.S. government saying you can enter into the United States now. And you're just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to go on my own. It's like, that's not fair. That's a conservative idea. Okay, so when I say it like that, how is that? Can you stand behind that? How is that to stand behind? Conservatives are really into fairness.
It will be viewed differently depending on where you stand politically. I know that. Because
Yeah.
I know some people that would say conservatives are, Germany in the 1940s, for example.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
got you. Yeah, but those people are but they're being very narrow-minded and very bigoted.
Well, yeah, but, I know both sides can be like that too.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, definitely. I'm actually often very impressed by how narrow people can be in their thinking. Okay, so the problem for you, the main problem is like people need to be more tolerant of other ideas so that we can share ideas. And then what will happen if we do that?
Okay. So I'm thinking, we need to seek common ground in our ideas. Just shush and think for a sec. Like, take into account, even if they have a stupid argument, just think, is there anything rational about what they're saying? Maybe you can find common ground and make the future better. Kind of work together on some ideas at least. Because I know the left and the right in this country is, in my opinion, it's becoming increasingly divided. And if we seek more common ground, we can agree on more things, and there'll be a lot less violence, less riots from both sides, of course, and just less politicians screaming at each other
Yeah.
and all that.
So I just want to push back on something here. You said even if they have a dumb argument or whatever, but maybe their argument is good and you're actually, like if you listen to my argument, I make an argument, right? And you think it's dumb. My argument's dumb? No, hang on. You make an argument, I think your argument is dumb. Maybe I'm dumb. Like what makes me think that I'm not the dummy? Like what is that?
I think it's more of what you hear more often.
Yeah.
It's confidence, I believe.
Yeah.
Someone can be unconfident, but they can seem like a liar when they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
And that's because they're not hearing their side of the story more often.
Yeah.
Or they're not being agreed with.
Or they're not listening to the other side of the story more.
That's
often.
true too, yes.
So I have a couple ideas here is that people think they're educated. Many people think they're educated, but they've spent their entire lives around people who think like them. It's like, how are you going to be educated if you spend your entire lives with people who are like you? Like, you can't be educated. Educated is seeing the world from 1,000 different perspectives, or 1,000,000, or 1,000,000,000, or 1,000,000,000,000. And so if you, for example, the good thing about kind of arguing with people from different perspectives is you get challenged, right?
Right. So I think, once in a while, of course, you do have to have a challenge, but I think that encourages critical thinking. And
Yeah.
you can solve more problems with that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, man. It's all about thinking. That's what we're doing here is thinking. Okay. All right, dude. How was it to come out as a conservative? No, no, hang on. Let me change that. As a white guy conservative in Social 119.
So I wanted to be careful about what I had to say today.
Yeah.
And I feel that most of the campus is more left-leaning, of course. So maybe there's someone out there who wouldn't like me because of my political opinions. Like, no matter what they are, as long as I'm like on a different political spectrum than them, they might just, dislike you.
Yeah.
So I think People need to just get rid of that barrier and see you for your ideas themselves, not just your... Because conservatives and liberals, you can be on the same side, quote unquote, but you can have very different arguments. I hear it all the time.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But they always single out people who identify as something other than them, even though they might agree on the same things.
Yeah, first off, there's nothing that's all conservative or all liberal. I don't even know what those terms mean anymore, honestly. And I made a comment about, like, yeah, conservatives are really into fairness. It's like, well, yeah, that's true at a level, but it's also very contextual. Liberals are also into fairness. They just define fairness in a different way. But one thing that, first off, dude, 25% of this classroom identifies as conservative. So that would be like that entire section up there and half of this section here. It's a lot of people, you know? So that's why I'm having fun with, I identify as conservative. I lean conservative, by the way. So I guess, because I'm also a white man. White man. It's just a thing. Eventually we lean conservative. Anyway, bro, nice job.
Thank you.
Awesome. Appreciate it. All right, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yo. Introduce thyself.
Hello, my name is Yasmin Thomas, but I go by Yaz. I am a sophomore. I am an RHS major, and my track is physical therapy.
Wait, RHS, rehab?
Rehabilitation and Human Services.
Uh-huh. How'd you choose that, by the way? How'd you end up there, of all places?
Well, so my first goal of thought was to go into orthopedic surgery, but I was like, I'm not going to have enough money for that because of, like, farther schooling. So it's like, I might as well just start on the track of physical therapy, get that all set out and done, and then if I wanted to, I would go into, like, the doctor track later on in life.
Oh, that's cool. All right, man. Dude, just do that. Hold it like that. Put your thumb on it, and then you put your thumb right on your... Yeah, dude, right like that. Oh, awesome. Okay, so, Yaz.
Yes, sir.
Where are you from, by the way?
I am from Irving, Texas, which is in Dallas County.
Irving, Texas?
Yes, sir.
Did you go to one of those, like, really rich schools down there?
I freaking wish.
Oh, all right, all right. There are a couple schools down there around Dallas that are, I mean, they have football stadiums that hold 30,000 people and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights. That's what Texas is
damn,
known
man.
for.
I had a student from one of those high schools in class a couple years ago. I was blown away, the stories he was telling. All right, so listen, what's the problem?
You want the long list or the short one?
Just give me the one that really jumps out for you.
It's people not minding their business.
People not minding their business. Yeah? Hey. Damn, dude. All right. All right. What do you mean by that?
Whether it be like socially or politically, people don't know how to like stay in their own lane. They're always giving unrequested advice, or they're just like jumping in or butting into something that literally doesn't require them to be there at all. Like if I'm having a conversation between A and B, you need to see your way out. Like, don't include yourself. Like, I don't need you there.
Okay, what about groups though? What about people who are pushing for social change and they're out protesting in the streets and so on? They're not minding their own business. And
so there's a difference between wanted attention and unwanted attention.
Uh-huh.
So
right,
like
ahead.
if it's like a social cause or a social controversy that requires social integrity between people, then yes, it is okay for you to be out there, state your opinion, or just have a good like interaction. However, if it is like literally an online joke between a group of people in a like demographic, and then someone says a joke, but the people in that demographic get it and you don't, and then you get upset by not being included in that situation, then you really can't get mad at them, because that's not, like, some people just grow up different, or people are in different lifestyles or in different organizations when they're younger or in their whole life.
So where do you see that happening? So is it what's your ancestry, by the way?
As far as I know, I'm black.
But like do you yeah, I can see that.
Thank
actually.
you.
But,
I can see too.
Yeah,
I look in the
I got
mirror
you,
every
man.
day. I say,
but
oh my
listen,
God.
actually though, no, but we're going to talk about DNA stuff in here. It's like you'd be surprised at what you miss. But do you identify? Do you have any like Afro-Caribbean?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, got you, man. So you so African-American. I make the distinction like this, just so you know in the class. So African-American, these are terms that I'll use, trace your ancestry to slavery in North America, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So where do you see the example you just gave about people having all sorts of experiences and then other people feeling as though they get left out of those experiences and they feel some kind of way about it? Where do you see that?
So, picture it, right? You're scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, whatever your social platform may be, and this says like, this parent does this, and it's like a little like funny skit or like a skit that showed like a certain issue. Like, say in a black household, whenever you get a bad grade and your parent finds out, they ask for your report card. Next thing you know, you're like, I don't have my report card. And they're like, yes, you did. The school called me. Show me your report card. Next thing you know, they pull a belt out of nowhere and they're just waiting for you to show them your grade. But for other demographics, say like a person who's like not a person of color, but they're not be their parents' first intuition thought as to like whoop your child whenever they get a bad grade or don't like succeed like socially or mentally or academically. It's like not their first goal. But within people of color like households, well specifically mine, grades was a big thing that you would get in trouble for. So that's why that was like a big thing that was like on the internet. And then people from the, the demographic, they were like, that's child abuse, that's not okay, that's not right. And I'm just like, yeah, it isn't, it's okay. But I'm pretty sure we all know by now, our parents know it's not good, but at some time, it's a point they're going to learn on their own time. I just can't push them to learn something because either way, they're going to push it out of their mind in one ear, out the other. So
that's an awesome example, by the way. When you see those, when you have those experiences, what do you do as Yaz, the black woman, African-American woman? I'll use African-American, okay? Or black. Should I say black or African-American?
It can make a chicken cluck. I don't really care.
Yeah, all right, dude. Awesome, man. All right. How do you respond to that when you see that? Like, how old are you, 19?
20.
You're 20. How do you, as a 20-year-old Gen Zer black woman from Texas, respond to that?
Well, I'll go about my Southern Belle charm and just giggle at it and scroll on. I'm playing. I don't do that. Usually I look at it, screenshot it, send it on Instagram for my story to see, and then I send it to my best friend, and we do like shits and giggles, and we look at that for a little bit, and I just go back and look at him like, wow, next subject. And that's how I go about it.
Hey, so what do you think about, what else is the problem?
I like to say people doing that weird thing where they say millennials are better than Gen Zers or Gen Xers are better than boomers. I don't really like that because at some point of life, you're going to get to that stage and you're just going to be as miserable as they are. So just like zip it, lock it, put it in your pocket, babe. I don't need to hear about it.
What else?
I entertain y'all, don't I? Check out my check out my Comedy Central in like 2 years. Gonna see me on there.
You heard it right here. Yeah, it started right here, man. What do you think is like an essential problem with? So you identify this issue between people of different age groups and age categories and stuff, right?
Yeah.
People need to just like open up. How open do you feel people are of your like people around you are?
Well, I feel like we need to start bringing back diaries. People keep posting everything. Buki, I don't need to know about your man cheating on you 13 times in a row. That's none of my business, and I don't need to hear about you crying over him. That's
So you think, as a 20-year-old,
yeah,
you're thinking actually people are sharing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Huh. And what do you think that does for them or for us or whatever the case is? Like, what do you think?
I feel like it started with the reality TV phase. Like everybody was having a TV show, spreading their business. Everybody's creating little storylines about their lives. And then once they got off air, they were like, why do people think I'm a bad person? I don't know, Gabby. Didn't you tell somebody they had a you know what and then they deserve to you know what? Like that's not something you can just showcase on television and expect people to not want to hold against you. You know what I mean? Like your words have impact, whether real or fake. Like you just can't be upset about that.
So how many people around you that you know of think similarly to you?
I like to say a good portion.
Really?
Of them. Yeah.
Because people, so many people of say like of my generation have the idea that people of your not me, because I know people of your generation, right? But people have this idea that your generation wants to just be out in the world and have cameras on them and be famous and celebrities and all sorts of stuff, and they want to put their business out everywhere. And what I'm hearing from you is actually, for me and for people around me, that's not really true.
Yeah, because like at some point, doesn't it get tiring to hear about the celebrity who cheated on their partner, the celebrity that got into this controversy, the celebrity that like causes this much problems in another area? At some point, you're just like, well, damn, like that's what my neighbor down the street does. I really need to know their business like that. That's not going to impact my day-to-day life. Like it's just a normal situation that people blow out of proportion. Like somebody cheating on another person, that is a terrible thing. But if you put it on air, baby, they're going to blast you much harder than they would Rochelle and Mark, or just like on the side in the corner who got cheated on 2 minutes ago. Like you're a celebrity. You're in broad lights. You're supposed to be this quote unquote legend or individual that everybody loves and cherishes. You're not supposed to do no wrong. But
Yeah, got you.
trust me, you're going to have your little groupies who say that you can do no wrong. And then when you do wrong to them, they're still going to be, no, they didn't do any wrong.
Yeah, okay. What else? Let's go back to what's the problem? Pick out one more, and then we will move on. What's one more problem that you're seeing out there? You know, out there that we just really probably should address.
Racism within the queer community, I guess.
Racism inside the queer community?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you see?
Well, people go with these weird stereotypes of grouping people along. People usually associate black lesbians with being masculine or dominant and stuff like that. I'm just like, that's not how people are as a individual. Like, people's individual personality traits are how they dictate their life. Them being queer and in another part of their body doesn't correlate well, because if you know like the stereotype of black women, they're strong, they're usually perceived as masculine, and then once you put the label of lesbian on it, you're automatically considered a stud or a, you know what, a D word.
Or butchy or whatever.
Yeah, them.
Yeah. So, okay, so racism inside of the queer community.
Yeah.
Right? Both with women and men. You're talking about women, but men also?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I see a lot of black men talk about their experiences with white queer men. And some of the things they be talking about is really like depleting in itself, because you realize like, wow, it's still going to hover over us no matter what. Because like they usually correlate black men in the gay community with being like, you know that like thing called jungle fever and stuff like that?
Yeah, dude, like, and totally hypersexual.
Like it's hypersexualizing of like black men, and they already go through that at a young age, and for you to like do it again and into adulthood, it's not basically breaking the cycle, it's making it much farther and much worse. And then people get mad at them when they do over sexualize themselves, and it's like a whole reverse cycle, I guess.
So we have the idea that once we put these demographic groups together, like whatever the the disabled community, right? Whatever the black community, the queer community, whatever, that everyone is all together. You know, everyone in the queer community unites around the issues because everybody shares the fact that in some way they're LGBTQ, whatever. But for you, you're saying actually but that's just there are multiple layers of that, and that's not really.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a freaking tiramisu or a fucking like cheesecake. That thing has many layers. You just can't have one layer of something and be like, it's done, it's complete. You have to put it all together if you want to fully enjoy something.
So that's what's interesting. People on the outside of communities often have the assumption that communities are really bonded and united, which I don't know. Well, we only have those assumptions when we don't know that community and what it is. Once we're connected to the community, then it's easy to see, like, look, man, everybody's different. Everybody has different perspectives and ideas. You know, you have like, you know, black lesbians who are ultra conservative, black lesbians who are ultra liberal, black whatever. It doesn't really. It just. So it's just B, C. Open yourselves up to it.
Yeah, because I would say people are a spectrum, like literally, like physically, politically, socially, mentally, racially. They're all on a spectrum. Everything is changing. People are sifting different narratives, different definitions. So you might as well just like get used to change. But that's human behavior of not wanting to change. So yeah.
Yeah. Listen, man. Can you just say that again? Get used to change. Like, just say it to everybody right here. Like, so you're speaking to the class. Like, say it loud. Say it proud. Get used.
I'm
to
black
change.
and I'm proud. Okay. Get used to change. It's always there. It's always happening. If you don't want to change, I'm sorry, Buki, but life isn't going to stop for you. It's not going to stop for anybody else. Go ahead and get that change in. Get that work in. Freaking, keep your head up.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Dude. Wait. Dude, awesome. I mean, okay, bro, you're on, man.
Sounds good.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. I'm Drew. I'm 19. I'm a sophomore, and my major is biomedical engineering. And I'm from Montgomery County, Pennsylvania.
Montgomery County, dude. Hold it like that, yeah.
Look at that. All
Well, you did a nice job, though. You're good. Hey, so okay, what's the problem, bro? Wait, what's your background?
I'm Indian.
Like, where were you born? Like,
I was born in Chicago, but yeah, I'm first generation here.
yeah, okay. By the way, is your mom a good cook?
She's amazing.
What's her best dish? If you could boil it down to one.
That's really hard.
I know, I got you, man.
Yeah.
But in case your mom's watching, okay, two.
Her lentil soup. It's amazing.
Yeah. What else? Anything else?
Uh,
She make chole?
yeah, she does. She
Dude.
does. Not too much though, but because
Dude, I make a mean chole, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say
I gotta
that.
try sometime.
I'm sure your mom's is better, but I just want to put that out there. Bro, so what's the problem?
I think I've realized this a lot, but I think stupid superstitions. I think people fall under stupid superstitions, and I've been like on both sides of that actually. So yeah.
Can you give me an example? Or give us an example?
To go like a little deeper into it, my father passed when I was really young, and being a widow, I'm a Hindu, so being a widow is actually looked down upon a lot. And my mom really got alienated from a lot of people because of that. She lost a lot of friends because of that, which I think is really unfair.
So can you explain to people in Hinduism and what happens? Historically, even historically, what women would take their own lives and so on.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard, but there is a lot of it doesn't help because should I put closer? My bad. But a lot of people don't understand that obviously it's not when you lose your husband, it kind of sucks that you lose all your friends too. And my mom being in Chicago, after my father passed away, she was actually like basically left alone. Even some family members kind of disconnected, and it really messed her up.
So there's something inside of the culture connected to Indian culture connected to Hinduism.
Yeah.
That when women are left alone, when the husband dies, and historically speaking, many women would throw themselves on the funeral pyre.
Yeah.
Hindu women.
Yeah.
Right? Hindu women. I mean, take their own lives because
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
It
So
is,
that's
it
a
is.
crazy superstition.
It is a crazy superstition. Yeah, my mom has been the back end of that. It's been rough, but she figured it out and she's happy now. So it's all good.
Cool. How old were you when your dad died?
I was 5 years old.
Yeah. Dude, 5?
Yeah, he had liver cancer. It was sad. Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah. That really impacts you, man. You remember my dad was 9. I mean, I was 9 when my dad died.
Oh yeah.
You remember? Yeah.
I'm sorry about
So-
that.
No, it's okay. What is I mean, hang on. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
sorry to hear about your.
No, of course.
Yeah. So what's kind of interesting is that I randomly pick 4 people out. We have 4 different things that people say, and you start with superstition.
Yeah.
And so where else do you see this?
I mean, I see it. I've actually lost a lot of friends because I have a friend. It was a long time ago, but he's very competitive academically, and he wouldn't tell me where he got his internship because I was looking for an internship, and it's because there's this thing in a Hindu culture called It's called like a bad eye, where if you tell too many people something, you get bad luck, and he didn't want to tell me it, and it caused a lot of problems.
The bad eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that. I forgot the exact name of it. That's what it is. Yeah, evil eye. Yeah, evil eye.
Yeah, people often wear like a medallion of an eye to really fight that. Okay, so
100%.
he wouldn't tell you anything about it, so he wouldn't jeopardize his.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't see this. I'm still friends with him.
Yeah, that's all right. If he does, at least you'll find out. Do you know where his internship was?
Yeah, it was at Drexel.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was-
So what else? What else is a problem?
I think people who just feel the need to project their opinions. I think I don't know if someone else said that, but yeah, they just feel the need to put their opinions out, or they like bringing up topics in like the worst times. I don't know how to explain that. Like, I'll be like out for dinner like with my family. I haven't seen them in a long time, and someone will ask me like what I think about like the Israel-Gaza thing, and I kind of just get really like blindsided by it.
So people are random, but isn't there? But it's also good to randomly bring up topics, right? To force ourselves to talk about things that we're not used to talking about.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm not really a person who's politically as involved in like I don't know as much as I should. But
Wait, why should you know?
I think it's just because I mean we should know what's happening in the world, and a lot
Why should you know what's happening in the world?
because I mean strike up conversations. Also, just I mean that's a really hard question to answer.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me help you. If you learn something more than you know about the conflict in Israel and Gaza and Palestine and Gaza, how does that change? What does that do for the world?
I think it gives light to the conflict and kind of just makes people like understand like what's really happening around the world and kind of pushing a better cause.
Okay, but how does it do that?
More people make their opinion like more known.
Yeah, well, how does it do that? Let's just say if you could snap your fingers, if I could snap my fingers, and everyone in this classroom knew what I know about the conflict in Israel and Palestine, right?
Yeah.
How would that change the world?
Change their opinions.
Yeah, if everyone knew what I knew, I could just download my brain into everybody in the classroom. How's that going to change?
Yeah, it would change people's opinions on
But how would that change the world?
it. I mean, people with changed opinions could try to push for like I don't like really know what you're trying to go for. I'm trying to show you what you're trying to go for, but I don't know.
Well, here, let's just stick with you.
Okay.
I download my brain into your brain on this topic.
Right.
Everything I know about the world, right?
Yeah.
How's that going to change the world? How are you then going to go change the world?
Tell other people my opinion and talk more about it. If that's what you're.
I don't have an answer. I'm just wondering.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would if you gave me like an opinion about it and someone brought it up, I would express my opinion, and maybe some other people change their opinion, and that opinion could become like a more just bigger general opinion.
Okay, but let's assume that's not. Let's assume that's not. I'm just pushing back. Remember I said earlier I was going to push back some?
No worries. I mean, I'm not. Yeah.
No, I got you. So I'm just, because what happens when you're in college, like, you just randomly put up there, like, oh, I should know more. And
Yeah.
I'm asking, why should you know more?
Because I think I'll be able to have more conversations.
And those conversations will lead to what?
I mean, honestly, I think when people bring up conversations like that, like to me, when it's like random, I don't really know where it's going. I think they're just trying to change my mind. I don't really know where you like. Probably tell more people your opinion. Like I don't really like to talk about that stuff too much. It's just a lot for me sometimes.
Okay. How do you feel about that? How is that for you? That it's a lot for you, and
I think a lot of people giving me like a bad looks, Like, a lot of people, like, I remember, like, it was in the classroom and someone asked me a question. I was like, I don't really know too much about that. And they're just kind of like, how or why. I think makes me feel kind of bad sometimes because people can definitely be judgmental if you don't know about it. But, I mean, it's just an uncomfortable area for me where I just kind of like to avoid.
Hang on a second. Bro. Yes. Dude. You have something to say to him, right? Don't you? What would you say when you first came up here? About staying in your lane or whatever it was?
Listen, I said, and if it doesn't include, if it's a fully aware, something that has morality, you for it. Your goal in life is to be a good human being. Being a good human being means you have to bring attention towards things that make you uncomfortable. If it makes you uncomfortable, yes. But think about the people who are involved in this situation. They're more than uncomfortable. They're literally dying off. So that's what I like to think about. Yes, I'm uncomfortable now, but I'm in comfort later. That's my big reasoning.
Dude, that was the opposite of what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
No,
I thought you were going to say, hang on, can I say what you were going to say? But you didn't say it in your other incarnation? I'm following from what you said earlier. What she said earlier was like, hey, listen, man, don't be minding other people's business. Like, it doesn't matter. What other people think of you or mind thinking about your business doesn't really matter. Yeah. Didn't you say that? Okay, that too. All right, so go with that. All right. Okay, so I guess the issue, the reason I'm pushing on this, it's really cool that you're raising it, is because you're in college. We're all here. We're here at the university. We're in college. And we have the idea that, hey, we're here to be educated, and we should all be thinking and being educating ourselves as much as possible, because it's only by educating ourselves that we're going to make the world a much better place, and da-da-da-da-da. And then you said, like, I feel bad if I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know how much you don't know, bro?
Oh, yeah. I definitely don't know a lot of things.
Dude, no, it's not a lot of things, bro. Do you know how much you don't know?
No.
Do you know how vast the universe is? Do you know how many stars are in our galaxy?
Absolutely not.
There's about 100 billion.
Oh.
And you know how many galaxies there are?
No.
About 100 billion times
Like
100 trillion.
It's like an infinite amount.
And basically, it's infinite, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how much knowledge there is out in the world.
Yeah, it's just like, I think it's more about like trending topics, like when it's like presidents and like the whole presidential candidate stuff, like because the president the debate just happened yesterday.
Yep.
My friends were talking to me about it. I kind of just was not up to I was not up to knowing what was happening at all.
Okay, and whoever your friend was knew like a tiny, tiny, tiny bit about it.
Yeah.
Compared to everything there is to learn about it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Okay. Well, from where I'm sitting, awesome, man. What I heard from you is superstitions, and and learning or engaging.
Yeah.
I got a lot of superstitions that I feel like we would do well to get rid of, actually.
Yeah.
All right, man. Dude, thanks.
Yeah, of course.
All right, man. All right. So hang on one sec. So we're gonna do, first off, I just want to, who has a question that they want to, who has a question you want to ask? Dude.
I was just wondering what you were holding in your hand this whole time.
What do I hold in my hands? Dude, same thing this guy had. Hang on, I'll let him answer the question. Bro, what are you holding in your hands, man?
It's like a type of bead that people either use for a type of praying, or they can just use it to play around with it. And it's usually made of different stones. So I think the one that you're holding is made out of wood, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
mine is
these
made
are
out of
from-
amber.
From amber?
Yep.
Can I see?
What?
Where? Oh, yeah. These are, I got those in Cairo.
Oh, that's nice.
And where are you from?
I'm from Kuwait.
So you're Muslim.
Yeah.
So these are, it's nice, right?
Yeah, it
like
is.
for me, I always have beads, bro. Answer your question. I always carry beads because it allows me to focus and remind myself of the fact that I'm going to die. Okay? which keeps me really present in the moment because I need for time to slow down, and I need to. I'm praying even though I'm praying all the time, even though I'm an atheist. But what are you going to do? Wait. So listen. Can you guys get your phones out really fast? Pull your phones out and turn your Wi-Fi off and turn your Wi-Fi back on. This is just a test. Oh yeah, sorry, man. Is this? All right. So just go to. We're just doing a test here because we're going to start attendance on Tuesday. Go to Canvas. Go to quizzes. Look for the test quiz and just answer the question. And you have to turn your Wi-Fi off and back on when you get to your seat because that's going to make it strong. Who right now can't get on Wi-Fi? Really? Wait, hang on. Wait, you're not on Wi-Fi? And you turned it off and put it back on? Wait, wait for a second. You're in? Yeah. So look for the test quiz. Oh, you did? Okay. Is it on? Wait, Julie, it's working. Did anyone do it? You did it, right? It's good? You're good? You got it? Wait, how many still can't get on? Because I want to get a sense of this. Yo, seriously? You turn your Wi-Fi off and back on? You're on Penn State Wi-Fi? You're on now? It just waited? All right, we're working on Tuesday. Hey, listen, man. Have a safe weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday. All right. All right. Thanks, bro.